Her husband secretly altered all her clothes while she was visiting her sister to punish her for stopping his bachelor trip. But here's the thing, he did it in a way that made her feel insane for weeks.
All right. This story is called, Am I the Asshole for Struggling to Forgive My Husband for His Petty Revenge on Me? I feel C. Let me read this to you.
Oh, this is gonna be good. Let's hear it.
Am I the asshole for struggling to forgive my husband for his petty revenge on me? I feel crazy. Husband, 34M, and I, 32F, have been married 6 years. What he did broke my trust, and the only way I could see him earning it back is if he voluntarily told his friends that he couldn't come. Which he did. At the time he looked really apologetic and we made up. He took me to shopping and all was good. I bought some fashionable outfits and was looking to wear them ahead of summer. Where we live, it was still a little cold and I didn't get to immediately dress up in the clothes I just bought. Also, most of my summer clothes had shrunk in the washer. Significant other I practically only had my oversized casuals and these clothes I had just bought. Few weeks later it starts to get warmer and as I slip into my new dress, it feels tight. I'm confused. I just tried them on in the store and I'm a size 14, as the label on the dress said. Significant other, no, I didn't get the wrong size from the store. Then another dress was tight, same with pants and other tops. I start feeling absolutely crazy. Had I just put on significant other much weight in a matter of a few weeks that my new dresses didn't even fit?
Wait, significant other, he straight up lied about the itinerary? That's not even about the activities themselves, that's about him choosing deception over just being honest with his wife.
Michelle, exactly. And then he blamed her for being an overreactor when she found out. That's classic gaslighting.
Right, significant other trust is already compromised before any of this revenge stuff even happens. I've always been a bit sensitive about how my body looks and I remember telling my husband how excited I was about these new clothes that look significant other flattering on me. I felt significant other good in all of them. And now, they looked significant other hideous on me. I start crying on the floor. I was too embarrassed to tell my husband this. I thought he must have noticed if I'd put on weight. I was a wreck.
He didn't prank her, he studied her insecurities and launched a targeted campaign.
I was feeling crazy for a few weeks now. Even the clothes that I had before felt tighter. I don't know if it was placebo or really, but it didn't help.
If you're loving this, follow FPM Stories. We post stories like this every single day. Okay, significant other, she's spiraling for weeks thinking she gained weight, feeling insecure about her body, and he's just watching this happen knowing exactly why. That's cruel.
Guy, this is psychological warfare dressed up as a funny prank. He literally gaslit her into thinking her body changed.
And she was too embarrassed to even tell him, which means the damage was working exactly as he planned. My husband few days ago during dinner said he wanted to confess something. He was snickering while saying this and what he said absolutely crushed me. He said that while I was gone to see my sister, who had just had a baby, for a week, he had secretly taken all my outfits that he knows I routinely wear and gave them to the local tailor to make them a size or two smaller. He said he paid him generously to stitch things faster. And said sorry, but it felt like a funny payback for what I had done, stopped him from going on a trip. I said that wasn't funny, he made me feel crazy, I was crying and screaming at this point. He severed my sense of self and made me feel ugly.
Significant other, his idea of payback for her saying no bachelor party with hidden strippers was basically to gaslight her about her own body for a month. Sir, you could have just bought her flowers.
Michelle, right? Like the bar 4, revenge prank, is floor level and he dug a basement.
All right, significant other then. But still, if you were me, how do you feel? Has anyone had their spouse do petty revenge on them?
The snickering. He's laughing about it. He thinks it's funny that his wife spent weeks having a mental breakdown about her appearance.
Michelle, that's the part that makes me the angriest. He finds her pain amusing.
Yeah, there's no remorse in a snicker. Too long didn't read, my husband and I had a huge fight because he hid that his bachelor trip involved adult-themed activities, which I consider a deal breaker. He agreed not to go, and we made up. Later, I discovered my new clothes were too tight and felt like I gained weight. Recently, my husband confessed he had secretly taken my clothes to a tailor to make them smaller as petty revenge for stopping his trip, thinking it was funny. His actions crushed me, and although he offered to fix the clothes, I'm struggling to forgive him. How would you feel if you were in my place? Has anyone else experienced petty revenge from their spouse?
Here's what matters: he lied, got caught, was forced to apologize by losing something he wanted, and instead of actually accepting responsibility, he decided to hurt her back in a way that would make her question her own mind. This isn't a relationship issue, this is a respect issue. He doesn't respect her enough to be honest, and he doesn't respect her enough to take consequences without revenge.
Michelle, and the fact that he targeted her body image specifically shows he knows exactly what insecurities to weaponize.
Significant other. The story continues. Archived post. New comments cannot be posted and votes cannot be cast.
He went to a tailor multiple times. Paid him generously. This wasn't impulsive. This was premeditated psychological abuse wrapped in payback.
Guy, and he did it while she was at her sister's after a baby was born. Significant other: she's already emotional, away from home, and he's orchestrating this at home.
The planning alone is honestly worse than the act itself. Upvote. 3.1k 2.4k. Go to comments. Microsoft 365. Promoted 3 ways to achieve a working flow state using AI. Sort by.
If your idea of making things even involves slowly breaking your wife's grip on reality, you've already lost.
Search comments. Expand comment search. Comment section. Unlucky you 3574. 2 why ago. Not the asshole.
And the way he confessed it, like it was cute, like she'd laugh about it, like they'd bonded over some clever joke. He had no idea he'd just told her he deliberately messed with her mental health.
Guy, he's probably expecting her to be like, "Oh, you got me," and instead she's realizing her husband weaponized her insecurity.
The disconnect between how funny he thought this was and what he actually did is pretty staggering. To recap, your husband is a liar and cruel. I don't understand how you can watch someone you love suffer and think that's funny. Upvote. 3.1k Slambaz 2. 2 why ago. And he has the audacity to laugh while telling her? Dude's a walking red flag.
She needs to understand something. She didn't overreact to the bachelor party lie. That boundary was reasonable. She also didn't overreact to this. She had a legitimate emotional crisis because her husband deliberately made her feel insane. The question now is whether he's capable of actually understanding what he did, or if he still thinks this is funny. If it's the latter, they have a much bigger problem than one ruined trip.
Guy, and honestly, the fact that he waited weeks to tell her, watching her suffer, suggests he knew it was wrong and didn't care until he felt like bragging about it.
Significant other. The story continues. 1278 AR. 2 why ago. And why do you suppose he eventually told her? She says that she was too embarrassed to say anything to him about all this weight she thought she'd gained. Significant other: there he is, rubbing his hands together and gleefully waiting for her to break down and freak out about none of her clothes fitting, but she doesn't. Significant other: eventually, he is forced to tell her what he did. Significant other: he can watch her fall apart, which is what he's been waiting for all along. You know, because he needs revenge. Also, the original poster: I know husbands can be really convincing, but he was absolutely going to cheat on you. And if he was planning a trip like that, chances are, he's already done plenty of stuff like that in the past. Nobody plans to go on a trip with a bunch of guys that's full of strippers and happy ending massages, but they're just gonna sit it out, like a little good boy in the corner, while all their friends indulge. No way. Any man who loved his wife would not be going on a trip like this. If he hasn't already cheated on you, he's been daydreaming about it and he was absolutely going to on this trip. You need to leave this guy. That is one of the meanest pranks I've ever heard of, and you did not deserve anything of the sort. 8 more replies, deleted. 2 why ago 19 more replies, diligent psychology 62. 2 why ago. That was a calculated, time-consuming, and expensive act meant to hurt you where he knew you were the most vulnerable and would hurt you the most. No excuse for that kind of cruelty regardless of the reason. Upvote. 8 point for K. Surina. 2 why ago. For real. He spent time and lots of money pulling this prank. All because you didn't want him going on a bachelor's trip that involved strip clubs and happy ending massages. What the fuck? This guy and his friends are really disgusting and I'd be rethinking this whole marriage. Upvote. 3 point for K. Are deleted. 2 why ago. I think this is what's also standing out to me, in addition to the obvious. My husband wanted nothing to do with the stripper scene when we got married. We ended up having a joint bachelor party where everyone in the wedding party went bar hopping down a popular street in the city where we were married, and everyone had a great time. Alright. Let's see what people on Reddit had to say about this. Top comment says, not the asshole.
See? That's exactly what I was thinking.
Top comment says, I don't understand how you can watch someone you love suffer and think that's funny.
The internet does not hold back.
Not the asshole, she's absolutely right to be crushed. Look, her husband lied, got caught, and instead of actually learning to be honest with her, he decided to retaliate by weaponizing her insecurities and making her question her own mind for weeks. That's not payback, that's psychological punishment dressed up as a joke. He needs to understand that what he did was genuinely harmful, and if he can't see that, if he still thinks this is funny, they've got a serious problem on their hands.
Not the asshole, and I need to be direct, this isn't about forgiveness yet. This is about him understanding that he deliberately hurt her in a way that targeted her body image and her sanity. She needs to see real remorse, real understanding of what he did, and real commitment to not doing anything like this again. If he's still snickering about it, that tells you he hasn't actually learned anything. He's just adjusting his behavior until the next time he feels wronged. Follow FPM Stories. We post every single day. Drop your verdict in the comments.
Like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.